Yo, what's going on, boys? I just want to give a quick shout out to EA for sponsoring this video before we get started. This is a really cool opportunity, and I'm super excited to be a part of it. So, yeah, let's get into it. I recently had the opportunity to playtest Apex Legacy and everything new that's coming in the update on May 4th. And I just got to say, this is probably the most excited I've ever been for a game update in a very, very long time. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. First of all, let's start off with the brand new legend, Valkyrie. This is Valkyrie right here. She, first of all, off the rip, she just looks insane. She looks super, super cool. And just from using her like all day, I played for about 8 hours. I got to use her a lot. She is just off rip, probably one of the best legends in the game. Kid is insane, and we're gonna get into it right now. She has 3 overall passives. First of all, she's a recon character, so this means she can scan beacons just like Bloodhound, Pathfinder, and Crypto. So whenever you're playing in the Battle Royale and you want to find out where the next ring is, you can go up to a survey beacon, scan it, and get that intel, which, first of all, is just so cool, especially for something like ranked. It's really, really important to have a recon character on your team. Next is probably her coolest ability, in my opinion, which is her jetpack. It's something completely unique to the game, which we haven't really seen, because it really is like another tactical ability, but it's a passive, and it's always there. It continuously recharges. It's super, super cool. So yeah, here's how you do it. It's basically like a double jump. You just press spacebar once, and then once you're in the air, you press it again, and you start flying. You can toggle it if you want to hold, or just toggle in settings whenever you fly. It goes about the height of, I would say, like 1.5 horizon lifts, I would say, and it starts to charge again. See the little bar on the right, the little green bar. That is the amount of fuel you have. And as soon as you stop flying, so if I kind of boost for a little bit and I stop flying, it starts to recharge again after around 7 seconds of not being used. So once you run out, you can't use it anymore. You have to wait around 7 seconds for it to start fueling up again. And that's how it works. And it's a passive ability. That's your second passive. But yeah, what's so sick about this jetpack is that it can be used for more than just, just flying.
Wings up.
There's so much movement that you can combine with this, like tap strafing and everything like that. I actually really haven't been able to get into that much because I haven't been able to play, that much just to play test. But it's really cool. Like, for example, you can literally just run and do like little double jump kind of boost kind of thing, which is dope. So if you're just trying to like clear gaps, there's like a big gap, like for example on artillery, there's a little gap on the right side edges by the zip lines. You can just clear that easily. It just really allows you to, it just adds a whole new level of maneuverability and movement to the game that we haven't seen yet. Like, it really is like a Horizon Q. It's like a Horizon Lift, but it's her tactical, or it's her passive ability, which is just so cool. It makes her one of the best legends in the game off the rip, and that's awesome. Next up is her tactical ability, which basically it fires a volley of rockets at the enemy. And so how you do it is you press and hold your tactical ability button, and you kind of get to aim and shoot wherever you want to do it. You can also fly in the air with it too, and it will hold you there whenever you activate it, and you can aim however you want. And what it does is it shoots off a bunch of rockets.
Box 3, dumping the pods.
And when they hit, they actually do a kind of like arc star stun. Like when you get hit by an arc star or you get blasted by an arc star, it stuns you. The rockets have the same effect. So it's really, really cool. It doesn't do a ton of damage, so it's not like super overpowered or anything like that. The stun is just what it's really used for. And it makes it for a lot of cool clips, a lot of cool escapes and that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited for it. It's got a 30-second cooldown. So yeah, so that's really awesome. The only thing about it too is that it can be somewhat easy to avoid. I would say, in the sense that it's kind of slow to activate. So and it also tells you like where it's going to be activating. So if I shoot it right there, you know, see all those those red circles on the ground. It tells you right there where it's going to be. So if I'm that dummy, if I'm standing where that guy is, I can easily tell where it's going to be. I can kind of just get out really quick. So what you might want to do is when you're using it, you might want to like lead your targets a little bit, just so they actually kind of end up walking into it rather than just running away from it. That was kind of one of the tactics I found when I was using her all day. That was awesome. And so lastly for Valkyrie is her ultimate ability. And what it is it basically is like a portable redeploy balloon. And what it lets you do is it lets you allow you and your teammates to basically blast off into the sky and redeploy and reposition yourself anywhere on the map. This is huge for something like ranked, where if you just want to get out of a situation and just get that, or maybe even get that great like god tier positioning. Huge. At the same time, this is where her third passive ability comes into play. While you're flying, whether you're redeploying from maybe a balloon, maybe your ult, or even just straight out of a dropship right at the start of the game, her third passive allows you to highlight different enemies on the map. So if you're flying next to someone, it'll highlight them. If you're about to land in an area and there's actually enemies there, but maybe you don't see them, it will highlight them. And why this ability is so good is because it lets you plan where you want to land, like super fast and super easily. Easily makes her one of the best characters for repositioning and really just general map movements in the game. Fortunately, if you're flying with this ability, it doesn't work through walls, so it's nothing like a bloodhound scan or anything like that. The enemies have to be clearly in the open, so if you're inside a building and you're landing on someone, it's not going to track them for you, which is good. I think that would make it a little too overpowered if they did that, but so far she just has a crazy good kit. It also gives this information to your teammates too. So maybe if you just want to scout the area, like Valkyrie alone can just fly up in the sky and then just come back down. It'll ping where everyone is on the map in that area if it reaches on her scan. So I think that's awesome. Right off the rip, she is an incredible character, and I'll actually talk about her a little bit later when we get into arenas about why she's so good in that mode. Now for the section that I am the most excited for, which is the new arena game mode. This is a 3v3 elimination game mode, and if I had to describe it in a certain way, I would say it's something like Trials of Osiris from the Destiny franchise and like Valorant had a child. Like it is everything I could ever want from an arena game mode with that competitive flair that just sets it over the edge. I haven't seen anything like this so far, and I think it's going to attract a lot of people, and I'm super hyped about it. So let's talk about what it is. First of all, it has 2 brand new dedicated maps. It's called Party Crasher and Phase Runner. Party Crasher is actually like a section of the map where the Mirage Voyage ship crashed down in this little like nightclub kind of scene area, and it's super cool. I love the way it plays out. There's not like too much open space, but there also there's doorways and there's different places you can go into, so there's cover. There's a lot of cover. It's a really good arena map. Next up there's Phase Runner, which is on World's Edge, and dude, this map is by far my favorite of the ones we played. It reminds me of something like out of Halo, like maybe like a Valhalla kind of map or something like that. It's first of all, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. Second of all, it's got these 2 main areas where people fight in this big kind of open like wilderness area in the middle. That's got like a lot of rocks and trees and stuff like that for cover. It was just by far my favorite map. It was so much fun to play on. I am so excited to play on the map. On top of that, there were 3 other maps, and they're all taken from different point of interests from the current VR maps. So there's Artillery from Kings Canyon, Thermal Station from World's Edge, and Gardens from Olympus. And so how it's going to work once this season, or once Legacy drops, is it's going to have the 2 set maps, Party Crasher and Phase Runner, always in the rotation. And then there's that third map, the point of interest rotation, and it's going to rotate out with these 3 different POIs. So for example, I think what they said was like it would rotate after every like week or 2, but take that with a grain of salt. I honestly can't remember. But they said it would be rotating out. So it's going to be Party Crasher, Phase Runner, and maybe Artillery for a little bit. Then it'll be Party Crasher, Phase Runner, then maybe Thermal Station, then maybe Party Crasher, Phase Runner, and maybe Gardens at some point. That's basically what it's going to look like. But honestly, I think those decisions as map areas were really great. But after playing on Artillery a lot during the day, you could easily tell it was by far the weakest of Party Crasher or Phase Runner. Those 2 just blew it out of the water. But then again, what else can you expect? Like it was, those 2 maps were designed for arena, so they're probably going to be better. But hopefully we'll get some other cool maps in the future. But for right now, these are awesome. Can't wait for you guys to try them out. So how does arena even work? Well, Arena is made up of rounds, and the first team to win 3 rounds wins the game. However, you can only win if you have a 2-round advantage over another team. This basically means that you can 3-0 someone, you can 3-1 someone, so you can win the game if the score is 3-0, you can win the game if it's 3-1. But if the score is 2-2, then you need to make it 4-2 to win. So you have to win by at least 2 rounds every single time, unless you 3-0 someone. If both teams are even and the game lasts until 4-4, it's 4 rounds each side, there will be a final tiebreaker round where everyone will get red shields and a fixed amount of money. So speaking about money, each round you need to buy your loadout with crafting materials, which is the currency for the game mode. So that means guns, grenades, heals, abilities. These all also do not carry over to the next round, so you need to buy a fresh loadout after every round you play. And I think this was a solid decision, because I feel like Respawn did this because they wanted to prevent something like snowballing and just steamrolling teams as much as possible. Like if you look at something like Valorant, let's say you win the first couple of rounds and you're able to buy an op, and then you just start farming the other team, and I feel like it just becomes this big kind of snowball that just keeps piling and piling on each other or on itself, and it makes it really hard for their team to have a comeback. So I really like this decision with Respawn, especially considering the fact that you only need 3 rounds to win anyways. So I think this was a good move. Now for shields, rounds 1 and 2 will give everyone blue shields, and rounds 3 and on will give everyone purple shields. But unless, like I said before, if it's a tiebreaker round, it's round 9, everyone is going to have red shields. So each round you only spawn in with 2 shield cells and 2 syringes, 1 on each side of every single map. And each of these pills contains the same exact stuff every single time. It's 2 shield batteries, 1 medikit, and 1 phoenix kit. And you can give these heals to your teammates, or you can just keep them yourself and not give them to anyone else if you don't want to. You don't have to. It works the same way as the BR. You just drop them out of your inventory. You can also buy heals and grenades at the start of every round as well. And so how do you earn money? Basically, you earn materials after every round. So you get a set amount after every single round, and rounds later in the game grant you more crafting materials than rounds at the start. So for example, rounds 5 and 6 are going to give you more money than rounds 2 and 3. You can also earn money from kills and opening these different canisters, these different material canisters that are placed throughout the map, and each one gives you 200 materials. So that's a good way to get money as well. You can also save money from the previous round, so maybe if you don't spend it all, it stacks up with whatever new stuff you're getting next round. So game mechanics wise, they're almost the exact same as the BR. Meaning to fully kill someone, you need to knock them first and finish them. So when enemies die, there isn't a loot box like in the Battle Royale. They just drop everything in the inventory, kind of like a war zone, like a Fortnite kind of thing, where you just full kill someone, it drops everything out of their inventory. So it drops, guns, heals, ammo, grenades, etc. Drops everything except for their shield, so you can't shield swap. For anyone looking for a kind of a Titanfall mechanic kind of thing, it's not like that. The mechanics, it feels the exact same as the Battle Royale in terms of movement and that kind of stuff. I know there was a couple posts on Twitter about maybe it was gonna have some increased speed or jump height or something like that. Nah, nothing like that. It feels the exact same movement wise as the Battle Royale. Another point to talk about is that different legends spawn in each round with a different number of charges of their tactical ability. So for example, Wraith only gets 1 Q, she only gets 1 into the void at the start of every round, but if you want more than that, you can buy them. However, someone like Horizon is going to get 2 Qs. They're going to get 2 charges at the start of every single round. And if you still want more, you can still buy them. Octane is going to get 3 stems. Gibby gets 1 bubble, and so on and so forth. It varies from legend to legend. That being said, different abilities also cost different amounts as well. So Wraith may only get 1 charge for her Q at the start of every round, but it only costs 50 materials to buy another one. Or someone like Horizon who gets 2 charges, but it costs 100 materials to buy another. And so the main point to take away here is that legends with very strong tactical abilities are going to be very strong in Arena. So legends like Wraith, Horizon, Pathfinder, Gibby are all going to be very, very good. The best legend, in my opinion, for Arena right now is going to be Valkyrie. She is just straight up off the rip, just crazy. Because her jetpack, which is her passive ability, so basically it doesn't cost any money, and you can use it as much as you want. It's basically a tactical ability alone. So you get that plus her tactical ability, plus the rockets every single round. You get 1 charge of that every round. So the jetpack plus that just makes her kit crazy for Arena. I played her almost all day for Arena. She is so much fun to use. I cannot wait to use her once the official drop comes next week. And so the reason why this is so important is because this economy is super important when it comes to buying attachments for guns, which is what I'll get into right now. So when you buy a gun in Arena, you can also buy attachments for it if you have enough money. For example, it costs 550 materials to buy a flatline, but if you spend another 200, you'll get the all-white attachments for the gun. This is like a 1x red dot, a white mag, a white stock for the flatline. If you're using like a 301, you'll get a white barrel, everything like that. And then if you want to get the blue attachments, you spend another 250. And then if you want to get the purple, you have to spend another 350 on top of everything you've already spent. So altogether, it costs around 1,350 materials to fully max out a flatline, which is a lot of money. So I personally didn't find myself fully maxing out any weapons unless it was like a super late round where I just had like stupid money left over and I was like, whatever, why not? For the most part, the blue rarity was more than okay for me. And this leads me to the final point of arenas, which is ultimate abilities. And I honestly very rarely used my ultimate when I was playing Arena, if at all. Unlike a game like Valorant, where your ult will get partially charged after every round, also gets partially charged after kills, it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that in arenas. You have to buy it. You have to buy your ability whenever you want to use it. So remember how I said guns and everything don't carry over? If you end up buying your ult and not using it that round, it will carry over until you use it. And so just like tactical abilities, different ultimates have different prices for different legends. So for example, Valkyrie's ultimate is only 150 materials, but Horizon's Black Hole is 450. And so I think the main reason I didn't find myself buying or using ults was because I was spending a majority of my money on guns, attachments, grenades, and sometimes even heals. And I honestly just didn't really find it that necessary. But that being said, I wasn't playing in like a super competitive mode. It was just a play test. Everyone was kind of running around, having a good time, just getting a feel for it. So maybe I think as it really becomes more of a competitive, team versus team, you squad up, with your set team, then maybe you had for ranked for BR versus like another really good team. Maybe you'll have to use more strategies and that kind of stuff, obviously, as you go on. So I think ultimates are definitely going to play a bigger part there. But for right now, if you're just playing casually, I didn't really see a huge reason to use or buy an ult that much, honestly. And so that's it for arenas. I personally haven't been this excited for a new content drop in a very long time, and I can already tell you I'm going to be grinding arenas when it launches on Tuesday. All right, so next up, there is a new weapon added to the game. It is the new compound bow called the Bocek. Dude, just right off the start, this thing is just crazy. It hits like a truck, and it's kind of hard to use when you first use it, when you first pick it up. But once you get the hang of it, it is just nasty. It does so much damage. So it does 123 to the head, and it does 70 to the body, which is just a ton of damage. It takes a new ammo type called arrows, and these can be picked up off the ground in Battle Royale. However, they already told us that they're going to be like very scarce. They kind of want to make them kind of hard to find. So I would say they're going to be even more rare than energy ammo. So if you're using the bow and you see any, make sure you pick up extra because you're probably going to need it. It might be hard to find. That being said, you can pick up arrows that maybe you miss or maybe hit the ground or something like that. You can go over and just pick them right back up, which is super cool. And then at the same time, if you kill an enemy with your arrows, you can actually go and pick them up as well, which is cool. It's going to be right in their box, in their death box, so you can just pick them right out of it. The bow also takes sights, so it takes a 1 times. That's what it looks like. It takes a 2 times. That's what it looks like. And also it takes it 3 times. This is what that looks like. It also has 2 different hop-ups as well. So it has the first one's called Shattercaps, which it turns the arrows into rounds that like split upon firing. So it kind of makes them look like this like kind of shotgun arrow kind of thing. This is what that looks like. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. I would say for sure though, my favorite one by far is going to be the next hop-up, which is called Deadeye's Tempo, which is just so cool. If you can get the hang of this, this is the skill gap, I think, for bows. So if you watch this, what it says is what Deadeye's Tempo does is it allows you to increase your rate of fire speed if you continuously keep firing the bow at like the most opportune time. So here's an example of that. So here's the regular fire rate of the bow. Here's the fire rate of the bow without Deadeye's Tempo. It just looks like this. Your typical fire rate. Basically, nothing crazy. But if you put on Deadeye's Tempo, this is what it becomes. Which is way faster than before. And so if you can just master this, dude, it's going to become really, really good. Like, really good. Overall, the Bocek has been a ton of fun to use. It is a really cool and really interesting weapon. I do have to say, it is kind of hard to use when you first pick it up, but Dude, once you get the hang of it, it feels just really, really strong. Honestly, I think it's strong enough to the point where they might even have to adjust it in the future. We'll have to see. I know a lot of people were, I don't want to say complaining about it when they were playing the playtest, but they were definitely like feeling like it was super strong. So who knows though? We'll have to see how well it does and everything once the new update drops on the 4th. So let me know what you guys think once you get your hands on it. I loved it. It was a lot of fun to use. I think it's going to be really, really strong. I think it's definitely going to change the meta. So yeah, I can't wait for it to come out. Lastly, there is a new point of interest on Olympus. It's in between Solar Array, Bonsai, and Orbital, kind of in that strip of no names. There is a new crashed carrier ship, and it brought in an infected plant onto Olympus, and it looks awesome. It completely updated the skybox. It changed the map a little bit in terms of how it looks. It's got this really cool ship in the air with this massive, like, infected plant just sprawling out of it, and now that it's on Olympus too is really cool. I'm getting these, like, if you ever played Halo, it gives me like a lot of like Flood kind of vibes. So if you like anything like that, it looks super spooky. There's a lot of cool secrets to uncover too. So yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun exploring that when the update drops next week. That's going to be it for me, guys. If you enjoyed the video, I really would appreciate a like down below. And if you want to see any more content on Apex Legacy and any of the cool new changes, especially Arena, I'm going to be covering a lot of Arena. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep updated with anything new that I drop. I'm super excited for it. I'm going to be grinding the absolute hell out of Arena. So again, if you want to see anything on that, make sure you subscribe. I also stream almost every single day over at twitch.tv/Lemur. So again, if you want to see any live gameplay or anything like that of me playing Arena, me grinding it out, me playing the new update too, new rank for the season, going for Pred, anything like that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out the Twitch. So yeah, so I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.